in my latest book, The Great Hindu Civilization, where I analyze those reasons and I accept the validity of some of them. And I can, on another occasion or whenever you want, go through each of them. So there is a resonance to a certain reclaiming of Hindu pride.
But you differentiate between
but
that.
I think the same Hindus
don't want that
don't
Hindutva.
want it endemic
what you say.
instability, law and order situations, and जिसको कहते हैं हिंदी में अस्थिरता. Because Hindus are not jihadis. In fact, most citizens in this country, except for a certain fringe which exists in all religions, want to get on with their lives. You'll be surprised. During the height of the Ayodhya agitation in 1992, the traders of Faizabad and Ayodhya went on strike. I have mentioned it in my book, Being Indian, and when they were asked, they said, ये तो रोज यहाँ कर्फ्यू लगता है, हमारा धंधा कैसे होगा?
Yeah, so that dhanda bit is there everywhere. It was there in Gujarat. It was there in. So those who are, I'll tell you, when this whole Ayodhya movement happened and the Rath Yatras were out and all, and I saw one of our television producers. We'd gone to dinner to his house, and he had this sticker on his door which said, "गर्व से कहो हम हिंदू हैं." And I was like, धर साहब क्यों पर गर्व से कहो, मतलब हिंदू तो हिंदू है, उसमें गर्व की क्या बात है, मतलब it was a way of life for all of us, right? We never felt the need to say it, but that comes from this sense of entitlement, because our Hinduism or our being a Hindu was never in threat. But he was a Kashmiri Hindu, right? His identity as a Hindu was under threat for a long, long time. So he needed to say it. So I understand so for me it was a shocker, and I understood this entitled Hindu that I was, who never felt her Hindu, or entitled upper caste that I never understood the Mandal agitation. I had to ask, kya hai ye? Like what is... Because why? We were urban, we were cosmopolitan. We never felt, nobody asked us, and I never this easy... upper caste life that one leads, where caste doesn't affect me. It didn't affect me. It's only when the Mandal agitation happened that I realized how entitled my life was, how cushy my life was, that I didn't face any atrocity. So I couldn't understand that.
Quite right.
Right? The same way, till that Hindutva movement happened with the Rath Yatra, I didn't understand the angst of the Hindus who were under that threat. Similarly, I can't even begin to understand, or I couldn't till I saw the Muslims being, atrocities on them. So unless you experience that, to say that, oh, this is uncalled for. Anyway, now that I'm talking about that, I have to speak to you because you're essentially a Delhi wala. What do you have to say to this whole Lutyens Delhi, Khan Market gang? Because you are a Khan Market gang. I'm a Khan Market gang, right? We love to go to the Khan Market. We love to go to Khan Market and shop and eat and have discussions. So do you feel that, okay, maybe they are right. We are entitled. We were this Khan Market gang.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
Let me tell you, when you refer, you can give it any label, Lutyens, Khan Market gang. The fact is that there is a small but minuscule class which are the beneficiaries of inherited power and privilege. It also is a fact that they are vociferous in their views, but visibly cut off from the mainstream of life of the common masses outside the metropolises. Thirdly, it's a class which in a way inherited power from the departing British. Although the country won independence, the immediate beneficiaries were those who were already positioned to take advantage of independence. Their English was good. Their fluency in English was good. They had been to good schools. Their parents were well-to-do. And therefore, the opportunities that they got were available to them without competition. When I gave the Foreign Service exam, you could give the exam only in English.
Yeah.
Out of my batch of the Foreign Service, There were 10 boys from St. Stephen's. It's unfair. You have to democratically empower others. Now, the problem with Lutyens is, and the Khan Market gang is, that they are so convinced about the validity of their point of view that I call them reflex liberalists, which was just speaking about Hinduism. For instance, they are strong believers in secularism. But they have not read the Ramayana except as a comic.
Yeah.
They believe that, they know Shakespeare more than Kalidas. So I'm just saying that they're cut off from the life impulses of the country.
A lot in the MEA, let me tell you this one example. I'm interrupting you, but there was, we'd gone to cover the EU summit, and Yashwant Sinha was the EAM, External Affairs Minister, and Vajpayee ji was the Prime Minister. And the briefing happened like you always used to do as XP heads. So the external publicity, whoever was the JSXP, I don't remember exactly who it was, but he then gave the questions, and the question answer session continued, and it was Mr. Yashwant Sinha answering all the questions. And so at one point of time I said, sir, आपने जो अंग्रेजी में कहा है आप जरा हिंदी में कहेंगे. And the entire media team which was covering it, all these English speaking people who cover, and mind you, I was part of that. They giggled and they laughed. Oh, come on, you can translate it. Why do you need that? Right? So then the JSXP said, chalo, utho. So I went up to Yashwant Sinha and I said that, wo to theek hai, but you come from a Hindi belt.
Quite right.
Do you understand that there are Hindi channels which will not use this? Won't use this because it's too much of a pain. EU का summit चल रहा है, European Union में क्या चल रहा है? You think बिहार में या उत्तर प्रदेश में anybody is interested? मजाक उड़ गया हमारा EU में because of whatever happened at that summit. There was some incident. But no, I don't elaborate. But even politicians, let me tell you, when they reach that age, when they reach that become an external affairs minister, forget their roots. It's only now, when people have realized that we need to be aware कि हम लोग कहाँ से निकले हैं और हमारा वोट बैंक किस तरफ है भाई, अंग्रेजी में नहीं है. I too learned how to speak in Hindi only when I realized that I'm not reaching my audience.
Absolutely.
It's not my language. I'm a South Indian. But I learned how to speak fluently in Hindi as much as I can because of this. This whole Lutyens gang, Khan Market, it is a reality, isn't it?
Indeed. And let me tell you, in my case, I went to St. Columbus.
Yeah, exactly.
I went to St. Xavier's. I went to St. Stephen's. I could have become a saint at the end of it. But I am proud that today, or even from much earlier, I can speak fluently in Hindi, write in Hindi. I have translated Urdu. But I had once a boss in MEA who would tell me on the intercom, I say, old chap, there is an HMT type of guy here.
Hindi medium type.
And once he even used an expression called UMT. And then he's called the UMT, Urdu medium type, Can you deal with him? So this kind of elitism...
You mimic very well. I know exactly who you mean, but I'm not going to say the name.
No, this kind of elitism cut off from the reality of India, which, by the way, and this is my footnote, doesn't mean that whatever the so-called Lutyens gang or Karmanket gang believes in is wrong. But they need to develop greater authenticity, credibility in voicing it.
Right.
Otherwise, it appears that they are, in a sense, prisoners of a past, which and of a value system, with which they are unable to interpret for the masses.